What's up, world? This is my first live, you know what I'm saying? Sitting over here at the desk. I'm gonna just scroll through the web, see what's going on out here in the world. I like listening to Tone Talks on YouTube. Let me see what he talking about. He got something uploaded an hour ago. No, we're not doing it like that. I'm telling you, Wi-Fi. Woo. That would not be good.
Welcome. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's starting out 2021 better than 2020 went. It was a tough year last year. Hopefully, this is a better year so far for you as it is for me. So, we got people all across the country following in. Next to 2,000 people here live. Talk about a lot of subjects today. ADOS from all across the country. Black folks all across the country, from the area, seeing Mississippi, Atlanta, seeing them pop up. Arkansas, shout out Cortez. That's somebody in the chat. When I talk about the chat, I'm talking about YouTube. Please join the discussion, lively discussion about all the topics I'm going to discuss today. This will be a long-winded show in a way because I got a lot to cover. But I think we can do it together. I'm going to have call-ins at some point. But I'm going to go through everything from Warnock to what we saw in D.C.
Shout out to George.
Yeah, it's really about the state of millennial black wealth, working age black wealth, which is relatively non-existent, and how black politics really isn't reacting to that truth. It's kind of being dishonest about it all. Let's get into the discussion. Let's talk about it. This is Tone Talk. So we had this swing where Warnock and Ossoff were elected in Georgia. Georgia went blue. We went from that to what we saw in D.C. and everything else. We'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But inside of that, I don't think we had a discussion about what does this mean for black politics? What does it mean for working age black families? What does it mean for black America? And I kind of wanted to flesh that out because, you guys watched the Brittany Brown show. She couldn't really get into it because that was the night of the incident in D.C. and talk about Warnock's win. And I want to flesh Warnock's win out because when I look at it, maybe I see some things that you don't. In many ways, when we started discussing black politics in the context of ADOS, it was like a missing link for so many of you guys. In the context of Barack Obama being half white and half Kenyan, and what that meant for how he was an extreme, not just aberration, but outside of the narrative of what American black folks that come from slavery and Jim Crow go through. If anyone is supposed to represent the contrast to that, it is Warnock, Reverend Warnock, who comes out of Ebenezer Church, who is in the image of Dr. King, supposedly. We'll talk about that. Who comes from sharecroppers. It's supposed to represent this normal black experience. And for me, one, it doesn't reflect his politics. Going to the website so we can actually talk about it specifically. But more importantly, I don't think it reflects him. And I'll show you why. And maybe it'll be something that you've never thought of before, that it impairs you to understand. Please, again, support the chat. I want to have this discussion. I start off with you have to recognize that Georgia went blue, but you have to do that in context of the American, like Black Americans define African negative wealth. Negative $200 billion to be exact. I'll get more specific about Atlanta. Atlanta is a city of middle class looking homes. So they ain't big houses. They don't have no liquid wealth. I think something like 70% of the black families have less than $1,000 or $1,500 liquid. They ain't these houses though.
We get on this speak. Oh shit. Ben Dixon going live right now. I need to go see what he talking about too. I like them brothers. The Political Thirst Trap with Mondale and Marcus. That's off to them brothers.
And you have this idea, this need to present an aspiration.
Right now, we're listening to Tone Talks. His latest video about Warnock Senate win in Georgia and American wealth in 2021 explained. So that's what you're listening to. My reaction right around.
That not only have the city, but particularly the state and also all of the South and Black Americans across the nation have not achieved. But we need it though, because we here in this 2020, shouldn't we have arrived so far? And I would say that Warnock is the expression of that rather than the answer to that. You know, Warnock put out a message that seemed like he had prepared. And he should prepare a message, but it was like prepared. And
Yeah, see?
in the sense that he said the other day, because this is America, the 82-year-old hands that used to pick somebody else's cotton went to the polls and picked her youngest son to be a United States Senator. Powerful message. ADOS to the core. But the question is, which ADOS is it? Now, somebody might think that's nitpicking, but it is imperative to understand because ADOS of 2020 are trying to survive in a way that ADOS of 1990 were. And I'm not saying that everybody wasn't trying to make their family whole, but we lived in $100 trillion economy. Again, in 1960, Americans were 400 billion. White people had all of it, but that's a fundamental difference to overcome. That means that your roof, your house, your school, substantially different in cost than cost. The other day, because this is America, the 82-year-old hand that used to pick somebody else's cotton went to the polls and picked her youngest son to be a United States Senator. Now, one of the things that I start to see when I look at Warnock is an aberration in another way than Barack. Now, whereas he is ADOS on both sides, he is in many ways a shadow of the boomer era. While being 51 years old, his mother obviously had him at 31. His mother had him at 31. She's 82 now. Let's break the timeline down because it's important because you need to start understanding that he's 51 years old. His mom has him at 31. She's 82. But the narrative also must be understood in context of his father. His father was born in 1917. It is 2020. I want everybody to follow me because I'm going to break it down. Again, we're living in America where in 1960, we have a $400 billion household wealth. 1980.
My reaction so far sounds good. I gotta make sure y'all can hear me out there.
We have 2 trillion. 1989, we have 24 trillion. We now have 100 trillion. That means what that shows is the growth of America during that time. So if you were in here, there was something for you to do. It was like a spin top that always pointed up. By the time we get to 1980, black spin tops point down. They point down. Now, I'm not saying that black people didn't struggle in the eras prior. What I am saying is that factory jobs, pensions, unions.
1980 was a turning point. That's a good frame of reference.
Many things that black people were able to strive toward allow access, even if you didn't have a high school diploma. So let's be clear. Warnock's dad is born in 1917. Now, I know some of you saw that. But one of the gifts that the...
Sure, he was a child during Red Summer, 1919. Yeah, Warnock's dad.
Lord has blessed me with his analysis skill set that allows me to show the world a way to look at things that they never thought about before. Because you have to put that against wealth and what wealth did. You have to put that against time. You have to understand how that makes Warnock unable to understand the truth of a black American that is living with a 58-year-old father today. So his father would be 103 years old if alive. 103. If he's born in 17, to break it down, 1917, 20 and 37, that means at 57 he's 40, and 67 he's 50. This is this man's father. I want to give context. My grandmother's father was born in 1916.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good video. Y'all go check out Tone Talks. Warnock Senate win in Georgia and American Wealth in 2021 is playing. I'm gonna jump over here to Ben Dixon channel.
You're depoting the chat room.
In other words, you sending me out there to do the Lord's work.
Oh
Yo,
man.
So yesterday we kind of, I'm gonna jump into it, you know me. So yesterday we just
Oh, getting real.
Oh, we take all right.
New ones. All right. Switch.
Let's talk.
Solidarity.
so
What would I say? I normally say judge a pastor when I tell people that, to mind their business. But what would we say to progressives who don't think we progress? Like, look, mind your own socialism. So we'll figure it out before the end of the episode. Go ahead, Marcus.
yesterday we touched on it. We had a real, in-depth conversation with Dr. Cordell West about his, he supported forced to vote. And I promise America, we're not going to stay on this, but actually today's episode with Nomi, from what we said before, the show started just turning into a whole new thing. And one thing that, and I wish we had a clip of it, David, but one thing that Dr. West said was, man, I wish I would have talked to y'all brothers before, we went out in public. And I tried to reach out to him, but he's Dr. West. It's not like he just has to answer Marcus whenever I call, right?
But he said he does.
He does, but I mean, he's also busy and he's off the holidays.
Yeah.
So Dr. West kind of regret not talking to the trap squad before he went out there to support Forced to Vote, MC4. MCA, M4A, whatever they call it now.
But he did promise us he'd come back on, and he came back on. But one of the things that we said about Forced to Vote was, okay, not only is it a bad tactic, but you're asking Black and brown people to run up on Nancy Pelosi and shoot their one little shot, and then not only not get anything, not pass a bill for Medicare for all, but then not really specifically get anything for the Black and brown communities besides a medical system that is still inherently racist within itself. And he thought about it. He listened to what Mondale said about, Mondale speaks eloquently about the technical aspects of how Congress works and how unrealistic it is. Now that's one thing I appreciate about that, brother. This is one show that we could just
go check out Penn.
So I guess I wanted to get your thought process on first what you think about #Rep1
video call.
If we're gonna be silly,
Clickability
together.
Political thirst trap, Friday trap with, Key Cunts, whoever that is. But yeah, I'm gonna shut mine now. Reactions, right or wrong. Chill. We out. Right or wrong.